Hey, what's happening? Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early. It's 3:30 a.m. on the dot here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I didn't check out my analytics for today, but last I checked, I picked up almost 400 new subscribers. A lot of them are younger. So let me go over, if you've been watching my channel for a while, a lot of times I'll relate stuff that's happened to me, experiences, things I've saw, conversations I've had, and I've talked about this in my videos before. I like to believe that there's a level of trust, of honesty between me and the viewers. I think the people that watch me have come to realize that I'm brutally honest. My family, my mother in particular, has told me that I am honest to a fault. A lot of times she'll tell me, Daryl, don't just keep your mouth shut, because since I've been clean and sober, I feel like there's nothing I need to hide. There's nothing I do or say or anywhere I go that I need to, I am proud that I've made it out of all the mess I made out of my life before. And I'm brutally honest. And that's important because I want to share a couple of conversations that I had just yesterday. All this occurred in the last, I'd say, about 48 hours. Okay, it started out with a video, a John Voight video. All right, and it's the usual. If I have younger viewers and you don't know who John Voight is, let's see. He's the father of Angelina Jolie. If you don't know who Angelina Jolie is, I'm just kidding around. She was married to Brad Pitt. So it's John Voight. He's an older man. He's probably in his, I have to say, he's at least in his 70s. And he's still riding the Trump train. I'll have the link to this right down below. And it's kind of creepy. He's got this video where he's talking about, it's an ominous warning. He's put out these videos before where he just worships Donald Trump. And this is what scares me about the whole Trump train, the whole Trump movement, is it's no longer about ideas or policies or a vision. It's all about one particular, it's about worshiping one man. And that scares the hell out of me. And it hasn't changed. I'm going to get to that more in a second. So anyway, he starts it off by talking about World War III. And then he says this, he mentions this big lie that spread across the country, and we must see it. We are a people, and we must see it for what it is, the lies and deceits of, he mentions the left. And let's see, he goes on to say that there's only one person that could save us from it. There's only one person that knows truth. Donald Trump. Now, I'm not going to get into this, but man, I have seen and heard with my own eyes hundreds of times where I saw and heard Donald Trump lie, blatantly lie, and bizarrely exaggerate. The media didn't tell me this. I saw it with my own eyes and ears. And John Voight is saying, if there's one man that knows truth, it's Donald Trump. And I just, I wonder sometimes too, because I'm going to be turning 57, and I'm part Native American, but I'm Caucasian. Most guys that graduated with me are, I'd say 90% of them are like John Voight, are these MAGA Trump supporters. And how I escaped this, I don't know. I don't know if I'm not living under the same power lines, if I didn't drink the same Kool-Aid. I have no idea, but I'm thankful for it. And he goes on to say that we must all see this, he's talking about this big lie and truth and this dark web that's taken over the country, and this ominous, oh my God, and only Donald Trump can, John Voight didn't actually use the word savior, but he pretty much said everything but savior. And this is what scares me. And it's still happening. All right. Okay. So that video is right down below. This is something that really freaked me out after. I've told you guys before, almost all of my family members are older Republican Trump supporters. And I told you guys before, my soulmate that I lost to Florida, to Ron DeSantis, to COVID-related pneumonia back in 2021, her whole family, Audrey, her whole family. So I've been around all these Trump supporters. I had a conversation with one of my relatives, right? And it shocked the heck out. I'll use the word heck out of me. I don't want to get yellow lighted. This person, actually, it was a complete 180. And she said, I hate him. I hate Donald Trump. I swear in the Bible. And I've had literally dozens, if not hundreds of conversations with this person before about, Donald Trump is great and all this other stuff. And she's just saying, so I say, I'm kind of shocked. And she's just saying, I hate him. And I say, I know. The first thing that comes to my mind is I say, I know. And I like one of the things I've always said is, it's obvious he's a narcissist. He's always thinking of himself. And she goes, I know. Yes, he's all he cares about is himself. And I'm just my jaw's dropped open for the last 4 or 5 years. This person has been saying no, and it was just a complete 180. Well, how could all this person, I thought of the video with Aaron Carter, and I talked about my relapse, and I talked about a moment of clarity, and so I said, well, maybe, I said to myself, maybe this is their moment of clarity, all of a sudden with the elections and all their people losing, the Kari Lake lost for governor in Arizona, yet another one, a big one down. So, Trump is bad news now. Trump has got a stench of loss around him. And that's not the only one. I've told you guys before, if you're new to the channel, I live in an older community here, 55 and older. Yesterday, out of curiosity, I just happened to mention the elections and Trump casually. After that first conversation, same thing, same exact thing. Trump's done, Trump's over, I can't stand him. These are people that just 2 weeks ago had Trump stickers and flags and all this stuff, and now they just can't stand him. They don't trust him. He's all about himself, and it's bizarre, the 180, but, anybody can wake up out of a daze. Okay, so this is, one more too. I did a video about this on a road near here. I drove by it several times in the last couple of years, and there's all these Trump flags out in front, and they're kind of scary ones. The ones that say F Joe Biden, and this is just this is a regular middle class community with picket fences, and it's got the F bomb and flags all across the front yard, like 4 big 6x6 flags across the front yard. It's like 4 of them. I'm thinking every time this guy mows the lawn, he's got to, it takes a lot of effort. He's got to take these flags down, mow the lawn, put the flags back, and he's been up. I went by about 2 weeks ago, and the flags had faded. They were faded and they looked kind of beat up, but they were still out there. And I'm thinking, this guy is just, what do his neighbors think? Another one said, Trump revenged her. 2024. That's the first time I saw that flag, and I did a video about that about a year back, maybe. And that's it's usually when you have presidential elections, it's about the good of the country, the economy, house prices, and these people are talking about Trump is our savior. He's coming back with revenge. I go by that house. I think it was yesterday on the way back. And this is the thing. They haven't given it all up. Now it's Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is the savior. That same relative I talked to yesterday all of a sudden said, well, Ron DeSantis saved Florida. And it's all about saving Florida. He could save America now. And when I drove by that house, all the Trump flags were down yesterday. And now there is, I swear in the Bible, there's a couple, not as many, they're not as big, but Ron DeSantis flags. I'll use one. I took a picture of it, actually. I was afraid to stop before the house because this person is obviously such a zealot. I didn't know, I'm imagining this guy coming out with and I took a quick picture, and I'll use that. I'll try to use that on the thumbnail. It was a little lawn flag. So this is what kind of freaks me out about this particular group. I told you guys before, I voted Republican before. I used to be an independent up until 2016. The first time I've ever voted, I think it was 1984, I voted for Ronald Reagan. I hate to admit that, but I did. But this is a whole different thing. These people just worship. It's all about worshiping one person. It was Donald Trump. it hasn't really gotten any better. Now it's all about worshiping Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis can he saved Florida. He could save America. I actually saw flags that said that. Turn America into Florida. Like they say, all the nuts roll downhill to Florida. Did you ever hear that? Hey, I know there's a lot of good people in Florida. Anyway, I'll have the links down below for that crazy John Voight video. Let me know what you think. They just found a new person to worship, a new savior. All right, you guys have a good Tuesday.